Welcome along then to France, host of the world-famous Tour de France. But we're not talking two wheels today, we're talking four, in a country widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing back in the late 1800s. We've come a long way since then, and you're about to find out how far. It's time for the French Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk about Mercedes. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Albon, Charles Leclerc and Perez, Vettel, Stroll, Sainz and Daniel Kvyat, Ricciardo, Norris, Pierre Gasly and Ocon, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Kimi Raikkonen, Oldtimer, Magnussen, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching. Seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down. Nice start. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. We're leading our teammate by 5.2 seconds. Okay, copy that. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now. Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. Box, we're coming in this lap. Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Exit, exit now. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres. Energy store is approaching its wear limit. We will be forced to retire if we're not careful. Make sure to discharge your battery properly. Nick is coming in for his stop. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. To car in front is 12.2 seconds. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. The gap to the car ahead is 14.3 seconds. The car behind is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. Our gap to the car in front is 16.9 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Another superb French Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
I have to give it to Old Timer. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the Constructors' Standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it? Great. Well, that's everything.